that, okay, now this is an option for you. Either you give that one or you choose Unix. So that was again a winning thing for me, that okay, now it is Unix and I know Unix. I know Unix. Now the world is at a next level, where you have GitHub Copilot all integrated in your IDs and Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ, right? The job of programmer won't be an obsolete. We will still be there, we will still survive. But yeah, we need to now need to learn these new tools, need to learn how to work with these tools.
So it's no longer that, hey, if I just know how to code,
that is not going to help. That is not going to help. You have to. There is no running away now.
But do you see a certain disadvantage also? Maybe you foresee in the future or now itself based on your experience?
But you should know how to use that.
Use it.
You have the tool, but how to use it in the right way.
User education is very much
required.
Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Techie Talks with Kuldeep. I'm your host Kuldeep Singh. Today we have another very special guest, Mr. Ashish Jawar. With over 2 decades of IT leadership roles at Denave, Interglobe and GBA. Currently he is the founder of the Code Camp, CTO of BhaiFi. Let's hear more directly from him. Ashish, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kuldeep. Thanks for having me here.
Before we deep dive into your journey, could you share about some of the experiences and the learning over the years?
Definitely. So I would like to start from the beginning, from my background, exploring what am I going to do after 12th. So I knew that, okay, this time I'll be passing
the exam?
Yeah, but then what I have to do? So at that time, I saw a lot of newspapers, advertisements in a lot of newspapers, right? About all these computer institutes, NIIT, TULEC, AppTech. So that was again one of the things which I started looking at in that particular time, that okay, this is something which is interesting, which is happening in the world. What I used to do is, like, I used to look at the IT jobs, right? What jobs are there in there? And then I started looking at, okay, what technologies they are asking for.
Okay.
And then I used to compare them with NIIT. Okay, is NIIT giving those things? Or is Tata Infotech giving those things? Or AppTech giving those things? So once I have cleared my 12th, after that, I thought of that, okay, I'm going to join Tata Infotech. But Tata Infotech was not there in Bareilly at that time. So the next location for me was Dehradun. And it was there, and my grandmother was staying there. It was again my parental home there. So I moved to Dehradun. And I want to talk about that again because मेरा पूरे करियर का फाउंडेशन जो है वो एक पर्टिकुलर चीज़ ने काफ़ी ड्राइव करा है, और वो है यूनिक्स.
ओके,
राइट. सो यूनिक्स मैंने उस समय सीखा. और हमारे कोर्स में यूनिक्स होता था. और यूनिक्स का एक पर्टिकुलर वर्जन जिसको SCO यूनिक्स बोलते थे, सेंटा क्रूज ऑपरेशन.
अच्छा.
दैट वाज द वर्जन ऑफ दैट. एंड इन द सेंटर वी यूज्ड टू हैव लाइक big manuals of Unix, 6 different manuals of Unix. And then because I was now getting comfortable with DOS and all that, novel netware से remote booting भी हमने उस समय use करी थी. So I was very comfortable with that. So I said, okay, let's start exploring Unix. And that is something I read somewhere, right, in a book, that Unix is not an operating system, it is a phenomena. And then that is what I learned. I enjoyed learning Unix, that okay, this is something which is going to make the difference. उसी टाइम पे Linux भी दुनिया में आना चालू हो गया था. और भी बुक्स आती थी, एक डिजिट एक बुक आती थी, उसके साथ एक CD मिलती थी. 100 रुपीज़ की वो बुक होती थी, बहुत एक्सपेंसिव होती थी उस टाइम पे. तो पैसा इकट्ठा करके फिर हम उसको लेते थे, कुछ लोग मिल के लेते थे. फिर वो CD मिलती थी, उसमें लिनक्स आता था.
जी.
नेक्स्ट वर्जन्स लिनक्स के आते थे. because Unix, we cannot afford Unix for installing on our machines at that time. So journey, like it kept on continuing. Unix सीखा, Linux में काफ़ी comfortable हो गया. फिर किसी ने बताया कि O level और A level के एग्ज़ाम्स होते हैं और ये डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के होते हैं, एंड दिस इज़ लाइक गवर्नमेंट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड. O लेवल पास हो गया, उसके बाद हमने A लेवल दिया, A लेवल भी पास हो गया, बट एक एग्ज़ाम फंस गया. And then I got failed in that. And because of that, मेरा A level complete नहीं हो रहा. And then एक बार और दिया, मतलब 2 times I failed in that. After that, luckily, DOEC introduced Unix in their courseware.
अच्छा.
That okay, now this is an option for you. Either you give that one or you choose Unix. So that was again a winning thing for me. That okay, now it is Unix, and I know
Unix.
I know Unix, right? So वो एग्ज़ाम दिया, बिना पढ़े दिया, पास हो गया. मतलब 85 मार्क्स आए थे मेरे उसमें. I still remember that, which was again very good. So करा, फर्स्ट ईयर मेरा कंप्लीट हो गया था. I moved to Delhi. I said okay, enough of देहरादून now. वहाँ छोटी मोटी जॉब्स भी करी. इनिशियली से ही मैं इंटरेस्टेड होता था लोगों को कोच करने में, पढ़ाने में, मेंटर्स करने में. तो इनिशियल जॉब भी मैंने जो चूज़ करी थी वो पढ़ाने की थी. एंड देन एक न्यूज़पेपर में एक दिन अगेन एक ऐड आया, जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करा. दिस वाज अ जॉब इन पोर्टुगल, राइट. सो आई गॉट सेलेक्टेड. दैट जॉब वाज फॉर डेटाबेसेस. ओरेकल उस समय काफ़ी हॉट था, मेरे को काफ़ी अच्छे से आता था ओरेकल. सो उसी के लिए इंटरव्यू हुआ, एंड इट वाज ऑल थ्रू. दे सेड ओके, नाउ यू हैव टू वेट वीज़ा क्लियरिंग एंड ऑल दैट. So I was just sitting idle, and one of my friend's sisters, she suggested that okay, because you're not doing anything nowadays. एक startup है जो कि अभी उन्होंने start करा है, and they are trying to set up a server and a network in their premise, but उनको कोई expert नहीं मिल रहा है. Somebody has tried, और कुछ Linux का Unix का काम है, you want to try. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. मेरे को भी नहीं पता था. There was a fear, right? Because आपको आता है लेकिन आपको पता नहीं है, right? मैंने कहा ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं, let's explore, क्या होगा, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. And then I went there. So पता लगा कि ठीक है, ये सर्वर एक सेटअप करना है, उसमें एक नेटवर्क बनाना है, क्योंकि एक सांबा करके फाइल शेयरिंग आती है. तो बाकी विंडोज़ की मशीन्स हैं और लिनक्स का सर्वर होगा, फाइल शेयरिंग करके उसमें रखता है. तो सांबा भी वहीं जाके पता लगा. मतलब जब उन्होंने बताया तो मैंने स्टडी करा, बुक्स भी लेके गया था मैं कि देखते हैं क्या होता है. सो नेक्स्ट डे में आया, मैंने वो रिमेनिंग जो काम था कंप्लीट करा. इट वाज ऑल सेटअप, ऑल वर्किंग फाइन. एंड देन द CEO ऑफ द कंपनी, ही कॉल्ड मी एंड ही gave me an envelope, right? As a token of appreciation that thank you. You have really done a great job. लोग बहुत टाइम से फंसे हुए थे. मैंने कहा मैं भी एक्सप्लोर ही कर रहा था, बिकॉज मेरे को भी नहीं पता था. हाँ. So let's just give. I was just giving a try. And but he said something which is still with me, that बहुत सारे लोग ट्राई नहीं करते हैं. तुमने ट्राई करा है. And this is something which we are looking for. Do you want to work with us?
अच्छा.
So I said I'm going to Portugal, right? So and this is what I am getting.
आशीष, जैसे आपको ऑलमोस्ट 25 years का एक्सपीरियंस हो गया इस इंडस्ट्री में, एंड आई थिंक योर जर्नी हैज़ बीन ए प्रोग्रामर, राइट? गो, जावा, पाइथन और ये वो. तो इस इंडस्ट्री में ओवरऑल कैसे आपने चेंजेस देखे, मे बी व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड, इफ यू कंपेयर इट विद टुडे, एंड हाउ डू यू सी इट मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, specifically with the new advancement coming in?
Right. So yeah, it has been a long journey. And टर्मिनल से शुरू करा था. वहाँ कोड करते थे, कंपाइलर अलग होता था.
अच्छा.
फिर टर्बो सी में काम करा, उसका कंपाइलर होता था और आईडी बिल्ट इन होती थी. आप कोड लिखते थे, एरर दिखाता था.
अच्छा.
और फिर धीरे धीरे जब हम आगे बढ़े तो एक्लिप्स जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स देखने स्टार्ट करे. इंटेलिजे देखा, रैड देखा, which were more developer friendly, right? You can write code, you can compile, you can debug. And nowadays, right? So कुछ साल पहले तक भी जो IntelliJ था, it used to give you hints. How can you optimize your code? And now the world is at a next level, right? Where you have GitHub Copilot all integrated in your IDs and Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ, right? And you don't even have to write and debug it, right? You just have to say that, okay, build me this thing. And it will come up with that feature, right? So world has moved swiftly. And from the programmer's point of view, right? So all these tools, these are all tools, right? So ये tools आपको help करते हैं, आप quickly development कर पाओ. बट वो जो प्रोग्रेशन है अब वो बहुत फास्ट हो गया है.
ठीक है.
वो जो जंप हमने लिया है लास्ट 2 years में, that leap is really big, right? So we have now at a very different level where you have a pair with whom you can sit. That AI is your pair, and you can work with that, and you can ask that, okay, let's build this thing, guide you, it will help you, you can ask questions, and you can build something new out of it.
ठीक है.
So that is definitely what I'm seeing, that it has really helped.
And एक जो नई टर्म आ रही है, वाइब कोडिंग, ये क्या है, थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करेंगे?
So vibe coding is again kind of like, even if you're a non-programmer,
Okay.
but if you are able to express yourself in the right way,
हाँ.
and then you can just keep on guiding your AI. It'll keep on writing code. It will keep on building the things for you. So that is something amazing, right? So people are looking at Figma designs, right? So you can take a Figma design and then hand it over to an AI engine, and then it is going to produce the UI for you. Right? So it's not even a matter of like few hours, in just few minutes. Just keep on expressing yourself what you want, and then it'll keep on generating the things for you. And then you can also express that, okay, write this code in React or in Vue or just in plain HTML, JavaScript, right? So based on that, it is going to produce the things for you. And a very good thing for non-programmers, people who can express themselves very well, they can. So this is again a new trend which we are seeing in the industry, right?
And where do you see like moving it forward in next 2 to 3 years or maybe in 5 years?
So as we are seeing, right, so the speed is like too high, too great. We might see a lot of perfection coming in, right?
Okay.
The tools are getting matured. It's not even by years, it is just by days, right? So every few days we are seeing a new engine coming in which is more capable, understands in a much better way, produces better results. So I see in the next 2-3 years, we'll be seeing the next level of development, enhancement coming in the industry. And the job of programmer won't be an obsolete. We will still be there, we'll still survive. But yeah, we need to now learn these new tools, to learn how to work with these tools. So that is something which we have to evolve ourselves as well.
Yeah. And I think specifically also to make aware in the AI world as well.
In the AI world as well.
So it's no longer that, hey, if I just know how to code,
that is not going to help. That is not going to help. So you have to. There is no running away now.
Okay.
So you have to embrace AI, and because it is again a very big leap, which we again see like every 10-15 years something new, very new comes in, right? So 25 years back, people started this generation, right? Our generation, right? So we started developing, we started coding, we started working in teams, building new stuff and all that. And the next amazing thing is now happening, right? So we have to learn all these new tools. We have to live with these new tools. So if you're not embracing them, then it is going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah. And those all are good part, right? And the even like the business side is also getting benefited that now you can ship the features very quickly. The things which used to take like months, now it is even taking like days also are longer, maybe like a minutes or so. But do you see a certain disadvantage also? Maybe you foresee in the future or now itself based on your experience?
Yeah, so I would say it is a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
right? So especially people who are new to the industry, who are coming in and joining in. So somebody who is already experienced, who is already developing,
Mm-hmm.
they have these debugging skills,
Mm-hmm.
they have these troubleshooting skills.
Mm-hmm.
What if something goes wrong? If AI has generated the code
Mm-hmm.
and it is not working, I can still go and I can still debug it,
Mm-hmm.
and I can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I can again guide AI that, okay, this is something you have not done in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work, or it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
But for someone like who is just starting,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are asking your AI counterpart, I
Mhm.
would say that, okay, build me something, and he's built something, but you are not able to run it, right?
Mhm.
Or you're not able to troubleshoot it. At times, he is still having hallucinations, right? So it
Mhm.
might not be generating the perfect code. You still have to work with him to guide him
Uh-huh.
to get the things done. But if you don't have those troubleshooting skills,
Mhm.
it is not going to help. So that is the part which I see. Like if people get too much into vibe coding,
Mhm.
they will be moving away from all those critical skills, because at the end of the day, it is just code, right?
Mhm.
So somebody has to make it run and ensure that, yes, it is working in the right way as we want it. And if it is not working, then somebody should be able to read it
Mhm.
and point it and ensure that your tests are passing,
Mhm.
and they're passing because of the right reasons,
Yeah.
right? So all those skills um, will be a challenge, right? Because you are getting more help than required now,
Mhm.
right? So that will again be a transition phase. So where people will get stuck, will learn, and then new ways of working will evolve.
Mhm.
Right? So that is what we'll be seeing in the coming days.
Mhm. And this is also, I think, very common because nowadays, what I have also seen with the people, hey, this is the result, and because of like the Gen AI solution has given me, whether it's the Chat GPT or the Gemini or something, but they are like sometimes not able to explain the like is this concept even right or wrong, right? And they are like becoming fully dependent on it, so they need to
Yeah.
validate those things.
They need to validate those things. So it is like over dependence, and at times certain things are also happening that, okay, this is right because AI has generated it. This is right because ChatGPT has generated it, right? So that kind of a thing. But it is not always true, because
No, no, no.
these engines do hallucinate, right? And at the end, you should be able to explain, right, what your AI has generated.
Mhm.
You should be able to understand it, and then only you will be able to make it work, make it as your pair,
Mhm.
right? So that is what I see.
And I think over these 25 years, right, one thing which I am really happy to see is that you have kept your learning always, right? You have kept yourself up to date, maybe around the latest tech stack, latest things. For example, like this TDD, DevOps, CI/CD, कैसे cloud के ऊपर में deployment करेंगे.
Right.
So how do you keep yourself up to date? That's the first part. And second is, what are those mediums, right, which helps you in staying up to date?
Yeah. So nowadays it is very easy, right?
Mhm.
Because we keep on hearing the things from here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the days, it was really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times in the older days, it used to happen that we are embracing a framework or a technology
Mm-hmm.
which is like 3 or 4 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but we were not aware about it, or our projects in our projects we are not using it. But now that as a country we have passed that thing. Right? So we are like very much updated with the latest trends, current trends, what is happening in the industry. So even our local newspapers, right? So you will get all the information. Even a layman today has heard about AI, right? So that is a very, very great transition which has happened in the last 2 years. So what I generally do to keep myself updated is I just follow one single place, and that is Hacker News.
That is Hacker News.
Hacker News.
Okay. What is that?
So Hacker News is a website from Y Combinator, and all the latest trends.
Okay.
What is happening in the industry, you will always get it in the Hacker News. So news dot I think ycombinator.com, and you will get, it is just one single page. Whatever is happening in the industry, it's like bleeding edge. Right?
Okay.
So it is at the bleeding edge. So the moment a new AI engine gets published, right? So the first thing you will hear is from the Hacker News, right? So just you can just search for Hacker News on Google, and the first link will take you there.
And is this Y Combinator like, the which usually does the funding, etc. also, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So
it is.
They are utilizing it to remain up to date also.
Yes. So it is a community, basically, community updated page. It is just a platform which they have provided. It is a very, very simple page. You will just see links, no images, nothing. You will just see the links. And as the news becomes hot, like more people are reading, more people are talking about it, it gets ranked up, and it goes higher in the number. I think in the first page you read, you see around 25 stories, and every day I just spend 10 minutes on that page randomly. Like there's no fixed time, but in a day I just go there and then quickly see, okay, what is happening from those first 25, what are of my interest, what I really do understand, because it talks about a lot of things. About anything which is happening in the tech. So whatever I understand, so I just quickly read from there. And it is more of a habit, right? So I really don't do it now because I want to do it, but it is just like, I myself don't know when I open a tab, when I'm going to open the tab and then type in, okay, news dot this thing. So it's more of a habit.
Yeah. No, definitely I will also try it, because my usually source of information are like, the X as well as, the LinkedIn. Like these are the two things which I follow, but definitely I'm also going to check it out. One more thing, right? News, or like, the information collection is one thing. Now you got it. How do you also try out things? Do you also do still experiments, etc., to remain, the hands-on also with these technology?
So on an average, I would say like every day I write some code. Right?
Okay.
It could be for my trainings. It could be building something for my customers. I do a lot of consulting work as well. And I do a lot of trainings as well. So it could be some exercise, some broken exercise I might be working on, and I'm intentionally leaving it broken so that people can fix it. And because that is where the learning is, right? So I give them a broken solution, and then they have to troubleshoot. They have to identify in that way. So yeah, definitely I write code, and then on these new things, right? So AI and all that. So recently I've built a small plugin for YouTube, which I'm running locally on my machine, and I'm trying to fit in this plugin so that you can talk with LAMA. I installed LAMA on my machine, and then using this plugin, I'm transferring the transcript of that YouTube video to my LAMA engine, and then I can ask questions about what this video is all about. So let's suppose I'm looking at a tech video which is telling you how to learn Go programming.
Okay.
Right. So this plugin will be on one side of your browser, and then you can type and you can ask questions that, okay, this guy is explaining about this thing, but if he has not explained it in the right way, or maybe I want more information out of it, right? So I should be able to ask those questions from the AI engine immediately, right? I don't want to change the tabs. So that integration thing, right? So I recently did that for myself. So I might be using it in my trainings as well.
Yeah. And that's like also a very good thing. For example, if it is like a 60 minutes video, and maybe like if you want to watch, go ahead and watch it. But if you just wanted to summarize it, maybe find a next step, because there is like lots and lots of contents.
Yeah, and there are already a lot of tools which does this kind of a thing, summarizing thing. But what I want from my plugin is to stay in the context.
Okay.
Right. So things like in a 60-minute video, I'm not saying that what this guy is gonna explain me after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, right? I want to stay in the context.
Okay.
So if I have seen the video till 5 minutes, this plugin is gonna help me in just explaining the first 5 minutes. It is not going to talk about the remaining 55 minutes.
Okay.
So that it stays relevant. That okay, you have consumed the first 5 minutes information, and I just have questions from that part only.
Okay.
Right. So in that way.
So it's not generalized. It is like, being specific
only for that part. It is like we are talking about something, right?
Okay.
And we don't know what we are going to talk about in the next 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
But whatever we have talked about, we can ask questions.
Yes.
Right. So that is the thing. So staying current, staying in the context.
Understand.
That kind of thing.
Is it something like you can use it as like the Chrome plugin, or?
Yeah, it's a Chrome plugin.
Chrome plugin.
Yeah.
Okay. And you plan to make it like
we might. Yeah, it will be a community thing.
It will.
I can open source it.
Okay.
Sometime, yeah. Once I see that it is perfect, and then with some instructions how to integrate it with your local engine, and all that. So you are not dependent on the external services. You can just work with something which you have installed locally. You can install a small parameter, a light version of the model, and then you'll be able to take help from it.
And you mentioned about LAMA, right? What is this? I also hear it very often.
Yeah, so LAMA is from Facebook, and it is
Meta.
It is Meta now, right? Exactly. Yeah. So it is again. It's like we are from the Facebook era, right? So most of the time it is Facebook for us, but yeah, it is Meta now, and so this is a open source initiative, right? This is again an AI engine which they have released. So you can download it, you can install it on the machine,
run it locally.
It also provides you a Docker container which you can run, and then it gives you a UI, something similar to your ChatGPT, right?
Okay.
Not exactly that, but something like
somewhere
that.
Interface where you can chat and interact.
And it opens on a browser on a certain port.
Okay.
And then through that it interacts with the LAMA engine in the background.
And then the LAMA interact with the multiple LLMs model?
So LAMA is a LLM model.
Okay.
Right? So internally, you have to choose which model you want to install.
So it gives you actually the flexibility to choose different models, and you can like just run it locally if you just don't want to send all your answers.
Exactly. And I think it also has a way where you say that get the answers from different models.
Oh, okay.
So you will not be knowing that, okay, which model it is sending my request to. It could be, I'm not sure, but could be OpenAI or could be Claude or some other. And then based on that, then you can also rank it, right? So is the answer appropriate? And then you can rank it. And I think all this information gets collected somewhere. And based on that, then we get this ranking, like globally, like which engine is performing well.
Yeah, and I think it is useful in that sense, right? For example, like if I just talk as a normal user, I just go to leverage one of them, or maybe like maximum two of them. I usually don't leverage all of them,
Right.
but that might be like a biasness because I don't know, right, the others. With this, I think within going it from a single interface, you can just query and get your all your
Yeah, and this is not a LAMA feature. This is that container which is running in the Docker, the UI basically which is provided to that container. Using that, you can do that.
Okay.
Meta has all the instructions on their page when you are installing it using Olama. So there's
Olama, yes.
another tool, Olama,
Yeah.
and using Olama, you install Lama.
Okay.
Olama is the installer basically which helps you in selecting the models. And then you say that, okay, I want this model, and then it will download it. It will set it, everything on your machine.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Very, very interesting, Ashish. And I mean, like, based on your rich experience, right? What are, some of the key advice or some of the key points which you would like to mention it to the upcoming professional in this space? Maybe, someone a new get thinking about, I need to become a developer. I wanted to be a software craftsman. What are, some of the key advice which you will give? Hey, these are the 2 or 3 pointer which you can consider, maybe which you have learned them hard way. They can learn it quickly.
Okay, so recently then we did a workshop with a customer, and the customer came with a very unique problem.
Okay.
And they said, we want to train our employees in GitHub Copilot.
Okay.
And that was like, I thought, the first thought was, why somebody wants to train the employees in GitHub Copilot, right? Because it is something very easy. You just include the plugin and then it just helps you, right? You just keep on asking and then it will keep on doing the things. And then I said, okay, let's understand the problem, right? And what I came to know and what I came to understand is जो value हम generate कराना चाहते हैं GitHub Copilot से, वो, if you're not asking right questions, it is not going to give you the
right answers,
right? It is not going to help you in building those things. So then again, I went to the same mindset. Okay, let's do it in the TDD way, right? Not exactly because now in this when you're using AI, right, it is also going to help you in writing your test. But let's break down the problem instead of asking that you solve everything all together. Can we do something that let's build incrementally? So from there I started, right? So the first sessions which we did was on the solid design principles, right? तो पहले मैंने कहा कि ठीक है, पहले हम solid समझते हैं कि क्या होता है. Because once you have a little bit of understanding of these principles, then you will be able to focus primarily on 2 things, coupling and cohesion. And once you have this knowledge, then you can break down the things, right? And then big stories को हमने break down करना start करा, उनके साथ काम करा, और instead of asking कि okay, build everything all together, let's do it in small steps. Building one small a feature is again a big part, right? A big feature can be a small unit, and then ask, okay, now let's add more to it and add test to it, and then add more to it, add test to it. In the same way, in the incremental way, as we work in the agile way or in the test-driven development way. And then we started seeing the value, right? So in few days, right, वो value दिखने लगी, वो बनने लगी. So then I understood, right? This is again a big problem, right? कि industry में, yeah, you have the tools, AI is there, it is helping you a lot. But you should know how to use that.
Use it.
You have the tool, but how to use it in the right way.
User education is very much important.
Very much required. So even with AI, all these practices will still be valid. All these practices are going to help you in enhancing your ability, right? So how you're going to write code and how you're going to write code in such a way which you can change, which is flexible enough, which you can change, right? So as a programmer, that is a first responsibility, that we should be able to change the behavior, right? If we want to add more feature to it or remove something from it, it should be done in a very, very easier way. It should not take a lot of time. So that is something which we have done. And then going ahead, all these learnings, right? I again moved out from that project where I was working with Rob, and I said that, okay, I'm learning a lot of things from him, but I'm not getting a chance to do the things on my own.
You're not able to implement them.
We were working together, but over the years, what I have understood, like how you learn the best is if you are able to explain it to somebody else. If you are able to teach, if you are able to share your knowledge with somebody else, then that is
the best part.
And उसी से ही लर्निंग भी आती है, उसी से हम भी सीखते हैं. तो हमें आ गया है, सीख लिया है, लेकिन अगर मैं किसी और को नहीं सिखा पा रहा हूँ वो चीज़, तो इसका मतलब मुझे आया नहीं है सही से.
तो क्या आपने यही लर्निंग आपकी जो दूसरी स्टार्टअप जिसमें आप CTO हो उसमें अप्लाई करा आपने?
एग्जैक्टली.
ओके, कैसे?
यही लर्निंग्स सारी मैं लेके फिर हमने जब उस स्टार्टअप में काम करना चालू करा, देन वी स्टार्टेड बिल्डिंग टीम्स, एंड ये सारी लर्निंग्स जो थी मैंने कोशिश करी कि मैं उन सारे टीम मेंबर्स के साथ मिल के पेयर करूँ, एक इस तरीके का कल्चर डेवलप करूँ जहाँ पे हम लोग सेम उसी रिदम में काम कर पाएँ. और हमने पूरा DevOps का CI/CD पाइपलाइन सेटअप करा, and we use Jenkins for that. So which is again a very nice tool. Nowadays, like we have so many of them.
But I think Jenkins was the first.
In fact, Cruise Control was the first.
Okay, yes.
Cruise Control was in the beginning, and then Hudson came around 2008 or 9, and then
Jenkins, I think, popularized.
Jenkins popularized. Actually, Hudson was the one. Hudson ने पॉपुलर कर दिया था, लेकिन जब Sun Microsystems को Oracle ने खरीदा, so there was a conflict because this guy who was maintaining the Hudson code, he said that this is an open source thing.
Yes,
and you cannot. Oracle said no, this is something proprietary because this was done under office hours, so you cannot take it open source.
Oh, okay.
And then this guy said that, okay, I'm taking the code base and we'll make it open source. And then the same project was renamed as Jenkins.
Interesting.
And that's how Jenkins came in, and Hudson faded away.
Oh,
because there was no community support for it.
Exactly.
So I started using Jenkins, I think around 2009. जब DevOps जैसा कोई
वर्ड भी नहीं था,
popularized भी नहीं हुआ था, तो हम लोग उस टाइम पे वो यूज़ करते थे. एंड देन स्लोली आई वाज वेरी कंफर्टेबल विद दैट कि पूरा सेटअप कैसे करना है. फिर नई प्रैक्टिसेस के साथ हमने ये भी सीखा कि आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोविजनिंग कैसे कर सकते हैं, उसी CI पाइपलाइन से डिप्लॉय कैसे कर सकते हैं, टेस्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं, आगे तक कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं. तो ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस फिर हमने BhaiFi में इम्प्लीमेंट करी. सो सम ऑफ द पाइपलाइंस आर रियली ओल्ड, राइट. सो जो मैंने बनाई हैं वो अभी भी चल रही हैं, फिर वर्जन अपग्रेड करते हैं. कुछ कोड शेल स्क्रिप्ट्स में लिखा हुआ है, कुछ कोड एंसिबल में लिखा हुआ है, वो वैसे ही चल रहा है. एंड इट इज़ रियली वर्किंग वेरी नाइस. सो ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस, एंड देन हाउ टू ब्रेक डाउन, राइट, हाउ टू वर्क इन एजाइल वे. सो वो हमने फाइंड आउट करा, बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर डूइंग अ प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट, it is again very challenging. I think people who are already doing product development, they will understand, right? Because there are so many features people keep on asking. You have a roadmap, but that roadmap keeps on shifting, right? So how to control that thing? At the same time, you also have to manage the expectations from the customer that, okay, yeah, we'll be taking care of your things, but if we see that things fitting up with our roadmap, then only we'll be able to take care of it now. Otherwise, you might have to wait. So those kinds of challenge, right? So building में वो सारी चीजें सीखी. BhaiFi में हम वो सब काम करते गए. And again, a large set of technologies again there, from very basic thing, PHP, to Go, Python. We have Elasticsearch, We also use network packets, net flow packets, analyze them, and then we store all these findings in Elasticsearch data store. So काफी सारा काम मतलब उसमें बहुत interesting but challenging काम, because networking itself in a domain, right? It's a cyber security thing basically. What we are offering from BhaiFi at the moment, and that too.
So you became the network expert as well.
Yeah, kind of, because that was again a learning thing, right? It was not very new for me, but because it was again a domain, right? So from the domain expertise, we need to learn a lot of things on the networking side. Okay, वो packets काम कैसे करते हैं, net flow चलता कैसे है, क्या different versions होते हैं, version 5 है, version 9 है, what value we are getting, how much should we how many packets should we drop, or how many packets should we really convert into a meaningful value. So all those things we learned and we did in BhaiFi. Initially when we started BhaiFi, Ankit started BhaiFi, this was more of a guest Wi-Fi system. And then slowly, gradually, as the requests came in, right, it is a cybersecurity product now.
Okay.
And we also have a newer version coming up. It is in the beta stage. We are working with some of the customers where we have made it live. Firewall X. It's a firewall now. And it analyzes your network packets on the fly, right? And
so as the traffic comes in, you are able to analyze.
We are able to analyze it with the help of AI, और उसमें हम anomalies detect कर लेते हैं, एक different traffic patterns हैं वो detect कर लेते हैं. Based on that, then
and someone is not just trying to do some bad things,
right? And then based on that, then you have notification. You can also block traffic if you're seeing some different kind of a thing. You can automate a lot of things in there.
So, which means, Ashish, innovations are happening everywhere, right? And within, the area of your expertise, for example, like, the software development, right? How you described it, how it used to be in year 2000, 2005, and how it has evolved. So, how do you see it overall, right? And what's the change? Maybe if you can compare it with 2005 to now, and maybe what you see this world itself is going to change in next 2 to 3 year or 5 year.
Yeah, so the latest new advancements in AI which are coming up, right? So things like your GitHub Copilot, they are definitely going to make the life easy for the developer. But again, as I said, right, so it is again a tool, and then you need to know how to use those tools in the right way. One thing which I want to re-explain is the DevOps.
Okay.
And this word has like different meanings for people. And a lot of people associate this word for automation, CI/CD, right? But what Patrick DeBoy said about this, so Patrick DeBoy is the one like who coined this term, DevOps. And he said like even it was tough for him to define the meaning. And what he said was, whatever you do to bridge the friction between the silos, that is DevOps. And rest is engineering.
The rest is engineering.
Right. So what I see in the industry now, this particular term is more related to the engineering than about removing this friction between the teams. And when we talk about friction, when we talk about what is this friction, what are those teams? So primarily this friction was like between dev and ops, right? Because they both are working towards their different goals. Development team is working towards building these features, right? Delighting customers. At the same time, the operation teams has to give you the reliability, right? And they both have different goals. Ops are more on the reliability and the scalability part, and here we have the dev. And because they are not aligned, there is a friction that, okay, we have built, but you are not deploying. Or they might say that, okay, we deployed, but you have not tested it properly. So you need to have this culture, right? So how we build this culture is, again, depends from organization to organization. How we bring people together, how we solve this problem. So my organization might be doing DevOps in a different way than your organization because we both have a different culture, right? So then it again depends from organization to organization how you're doing. But yeah, you will be using the same engineering tools, right? So we will be using Jenkins or any kind of automation system, automation tool, or Ansible or Chef, Puppet, or for that matter, Kubernetes or Helm if we are using our infrastructure, Kubernetes infrastructure. So this term, this is what I wanted to talk about, right? So DevOps doesn't mean automation; it is just the engineering part, and that is how people should take it.
No, I think very well explained. And what is the piece of advice which you would like to give to the upcoming professionals in this space, right? Which you can share it based on your experience.
So the first piece of advice for the upcoming people is don't use AI.
Don't use AI, okay?
Or I would say use AI, but don't be dependent on AI. Don't ask AI to build code for you. Use AI as a tool, right? If certain concept is not clear, then ask AI to explain it in a better way. Ask for examples. Ask AI that explain it to me like a 5-year-old. Right? It will explain you with better examples. But don't ask the AI to generate code for you because the code which it is generating is not going to help you because you're not going to understand it. So do all that work by hand. Disable GitHub Copilot if you have installed it. Disable Copilot and then write code on your own. Learn those troubleshooting skills, debugging skills. They will again take you very far in life. So that is the first thing. And then the second thing is that is something which I have learned over the years. How do you get this perfection or mastery? I would say perfection is a very big word, right? So nobody is perfect. But how can you become a master of something? And then what I've learned is repetitions are really the most toughest thing in the world. So if you are able to repeat yourself every day with certain tasks which you are doing, you will attain that mastery. So for example, if you're learning TDD, what you have to do is pick one simple exercise, attempt it every day. In the TDD fashion, and then just keep on doing it. So with every iteration, with every day, you will see that you're finding a new approach. You're finding new ways. You're understanding it better, right? So it is again something which Bruce Lee said. I'm not afraid of a person who knows 20,000 different kicks. But I'm afraid of a person who has practiced one kick 20,000 times, something like that. Right? He said something like that.
Practice makes
a man perfect.
Right.
And practice comes, it is all repetitions basically. Just keep on repeating yourself again and again and again. And then one more thing I want to add is nowadays, people don't have a very long attention span. Right, so a lot of distraction because of social media, because of all the devices. We are always hooked with the internet and all that.
We are always with the digital world, right?
Yeah, we are always with the digital world. So that also takes away the momentum. So what I do, right, it might work for you or not, but what I do generally is, because I also get distracted a lot. So I follow a simple modified Pomodoro technique.
Okay.
Right. So what is a Pomodoro? Basically, we use it again in the TDD way of working. And what this technique says that you set an alarm for 25 minutes and then you don't get up from your desk. You don't talk to anyone. You're just focused on your work. If you're working with your peer, for the next 25 minutes, you're working together on a problem or you are just working alone. And after 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break, and then you continue for the next 25 minutes. You take 3 iterations of this, and then you take a 15-minute break. This is Pomodoro. But what I have done is like, I have modified this technique. What I do is like in the morning when I start working, and if there's a work which needs really good focus, I need to be focused on a particular day, I set a 15-minute recurring timer on my phone.
Okay.
And then after every 15 minutes, it just keeps on ringing. And what happens is, let's suppose I get distracted, and instead of doing that work, I'm doing some other work. So what I'll be losing it only that 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Because once the alarm goes, then I'll know that, okay, I was doing something. That alarm will bring me back to my desk or to my work, and I'll keep on continuing with that. Right? So that thing has really helped me. And then it depends on, like, if you have really short attention span, 15 minutes might be big one, so you can just start with 10 minutes. So at times when I really work in a very optimized way, I tune it to 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, so 3 times in an hour. I don't take breaks. I take break like after 3 cycles. And then again, we keep on continuing in that.
Okay.
So this has really helped me, right? If you are focused, if you can attain that kind of focus, then yeah, it will be really helpful.
Okay. And this attention span is like, because nowadays new things are coming, and those things are coming like very quickly also, right? So you might be, worrying about one thing, and then suddenly the second thing came, the third thing came. So I think the technique which you suggested should help you also to stay focused on.
To stay focused. So at times we talked about this, right? So nowadays a programmer is expected to be a Superman.
Yes.
Right? You need to know front end, you need to know back end. You're also writing tests. You also need to know
Cloud
infrastructure, cloud, and now AI as well.
AI as well.
So you have to learn so many things, and that is again also a distraction, because at times people say that, okay, as a beginner, right? So I'm learning some front end technology, some React thing, but we are also hearing hype from Vue.js, right? So let's also study Vue, or okay, somebody said a newer version of Angular is coming, which will kill these two, right? So you keep on switching from here and there. So my advice is, right, just focus on one thing, right? So in whatever area you're working, you don't need to be a master of all, right? So just give yourself time. Just focus on one thing. Focus on one technology. If you want to work on the front end side, focus on JavaScript, core JavaScript. Don't focus on React or Vue or Angular. Those are frameworks, right? They will keep coming and going. But once you attain a mastery in JavaScript, these frameworks will be very easy to understand. Once you have that mastery, you will be able to work in any of the frameworks. So give yourself time in that regard. So I'm a very firm believer of one thing, right? So there's something which is said in Hindi, ek sadhe sab sadhe, or sab sadhe sab jaye. Just focus on one thing, and then you will get everything. And if you are focusing on everything, then you will lose everything. You will not get anything. So just focus on one thing, and that's what I have learned, like, over the years. Whatever you want to do at a time, just do one thing at a time. Don't do multitasking.
Although, like, the multitasking are the new software language, right?
Yes. Let's leave it for the computers, for the softwares. But if you just follow the simple principle of doing one thing at a time, and I think this is really going to help.
Yeah. No, and I think, see, yours also is a great example, right? Over these 25 years, how you have kept yourself up to date with these. So still, if you have followed and you have made, the mastery in these topics, which are like not just a single word, but it is like, they do have a, the knowledge, the ocean of knowledge, right? Inside, right? Even the single word. So thanks for this, Ashish, and I think it was really nice to hear this from you, and thanks for sharing your experience, your journey. Definitely, it will be helpful to the viewer of this podcast. So thanks again, and thanks again for coming to the podcast.
Thanks, Kuldeep. Thanks for giving me this opportunity where I can share my experience with the people, and I think it will be helpful for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of Techie Talks with Kuldeep, and I hope you will like it. Do watch our previous episodes and subscribe to the channel. Till that time, keep learning and keep innovating. See you soon. Thank you.